Fallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. It's officially fall.
Yeah, it was actually fall as of yesterday, and we're recording on 9/23. So it's officially fall, y'all.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting that the universe took that very seriously. It actually went from 90 degrees to the next day being the first day of fall. It just switched to a high of 70 out of nowhere.
Amazing.
Amazing. I'm ready for it. So no complaints, but it really did just change on the spot.
I know. Now we can wear sweaters. Look at you're wearing a turtleneck. Is that what you would call it?
I don't know if this is
a cowl neck.
Yeah. Not a full turtle. It's not folded over, but
it's not like Steve Jobs.
Cozy, but not too corporate.
I just want to look like Steve Jobs every day now that it's fall.
Female Steve Jobs. That's a really good way to classify your style, actually, for work.
Oh my gosh, she literally only wears a black turtleneck every single day.
I'm going to call you Stevie Jobs.
Steve Jobs.
Anyways, welcome to Wait You're Mad. I'm Lexie.
And I'm Maddie. And this week we are diving into fall activities, foods, drinks, movies, and shows. And we're going to throw in some overrated, underrated fall debates like pumpkin spice lattes, Ugg boots. So also, it's officially episode 1 of season 2. But really, we're going to just keep going with episode 11.
Yeah.
So let's kick it off.
All right, let's kick off season 2, aka episode 11, with Why You're Mad this week, Maddie.
So if you remember our summertime episode, we discussed what we were calling our personal summer themes, and mine was kind of to stay close to Des Moines, spend more time here, and explore like a tourist my town that I live in. But I failed miserably at this, and I pretty much had a jam-packed summer. I have no regrets, but now my goal is to stay close to home the rest of the year, and just for different reasons, just as a contentment goal, and it's good to stick around, save money. And I guess why I'm mad is because it's been really, really hard. My mom invited me to Napa. My friend Rachel invited me for a long weekend in London. I got invited to see Chapel Roan in 2 weeks, which I decided I am going to because it's only 2 or 3 hours away. And then an Iowa State football game at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, which I'm going to because it's only 3 hours away. So I think maybe that's the limit that I've set up is if it's a 3-hour drive, go for it. But if it's a flight, chill.
I was just going to say, I feel like if you're driving somewhere for a quick weekend, it doesn't count as much, but that is less time spent in Des Moines for sure.
Yeah. And, friends, don't stop inviting me because, things happen and I could maybe say yes, but the invites are great, but it has just been really hard.
Oh, I know. There's certain people that you think, oh, I would invite them to this, but they'll say no. And no matter what the occasion, even if it's a ridiculous last minute flight somewhere, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send this to Maddie because there's actually a good chance she'll be like, whatever, I'm in.
Yeah. I always say, F it. Let's go. YOLO.
Yeah. So actually very proud of you for denying a few of those things, but everything else seems just, pretty in reach. I think it's justifiable.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So, you know what? You're doing a good job now, but this summer you didn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. And it's our seasonal fall episode. So yeah, it's kind of a quarterly check-in. So I felt like that was a good time to talk about this.
Yeah. A good time to really check yourself and realign those goals.
Yeah. What about you? What are you mad about?
Oh, you already know.
What?
My job.
Oh, yes. I didn't know which I didn't know if this was going to be public or not. So,
oh, I mean, it's pretty out there. It was in the Telegraph Herald, so everyone officially knows.
The local Dubuque newspaper.
Yeah. So what's funny is shortly after we filmed our work antics episode with my work buddy Gwen as a guest, our corporate office announced that they are closing at the end of the year and they're moving to Atlanta. So,
Wow.
what that means for most of the people at our office is they're done at the end of the year. A few people they've asked on to stay on till March. And then there's very few people that got offered to stay on or relocate to that Atlanta office. So, yeah, it's been crazy.
Wow. That is crazy. Now, are you open to talking about like your next situation, or is that kind of on the
Yeah.
deal
Yeah,
for?
I can talk about it. And I think this is one of the reasons this I've struggled with this so much. I have been offered to relocate to Atlanta. And I think if you listen to season one, I've said multiple times that I'm really interested in moving away. I wanted to move to like a bigger city. I was thinking Chicago or Phoenix. Never really thought about Atlanta, but now it's kind of something I have to really consider. Uh, so with that, why I'm mad is no one else on in my department would be going, so that feels a little gross, and I would miss that. I can't imagine doing this job without them, so that's really hard for me. And then also just moving so far away from my friends and family is also kind of terrifying. But I'm also grateful. I know a lot of people didn't get a second option or a choice in this, so I'm not taking it lightly. It has exhausted my brain every day since it all went down, which was about 3 weeks ago. And it will continue to do so until I have to make a decision, which they gave me till November, but I'd like to decide before then.
Yeah. Well, it's so exciting even to have the opportunity. So,
Yeah.
congrats on that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it is like I said, exciting, but I'm still kind of mad about it.
Yeah, that's understandable. And it's like, it's almost like manifested in a strange way, though, too, because you wanted to like have a door open to move.
Yeah.
And this is here, but I understand like it's definitely a change and a foreign place, kind of.
It's either way, it's definitely the push I needed. I'm going to visit in a couple weeks, so I'm trying to keep an open mind until then. However, if I decide or we can't agree on, um, you know, the ways I need to get there, Atlanta's the scariest option for me at this point. So either way, I'm going to move. If I say no to this, I'm going to apply for jobs in Chicago or Phoenix. So I'm finally going to make that move either way.
For sure. Cool. Well, I know you're mad about it, but I think it's cool.
I know. When I told all my friends when it initially happened, I got mixed responses. And Maddie was like, "Oh my God, yeah, move to Atlanta. Do you know how great Atlanta is?"
Yep. Up and coming.
If I say yes, I don't move till April. So now I'm just soaking up every season until then, thinking it could be my last season here because the weather is so different there. So this could be my last fall in the Midwest for a while.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Is it awesome?
Yeah. It's just, I like anything new. Anything
Yeah.
fun and exciting and new and challenging. You know
Yeah.
how easy I can get of those things. So,
Oh yeah. You eat that up.
yeah. All right. Well, let's dive into fall. My first question for you to kick things off. What is your favorite fall activity? Your favorite thing about fall?
So first and foremost, fall. When I think of fall, I think of the smell of burning wood and leaves. I love bonfires.
You've been going to a lot lately, I feel like. Is one of your friends has like land and
Yeah, my friend Ben has his family has land, and someday he will build a house on it. But for now, he built this really cool outdoor area. There's a bar, there's a cool fire pit. He built a teepee. It's so awesome. But yeah, all summer we've been camping there and having a lot of fires. But I recently cut up a large tree branch that fell in my backyard, so I have so much firewood. I will be personally hosting fires for this
oh,
fall.
you do? I've never been
Yeah.
to one at your house. I
Yeah.
I bought a little bonfire cage from Walmart like 2 years ago. Never opened it out of the box, really. And I don't know if our town allows fires. So I'm a little bit nervous.
Oh, yeah. I have this big goal to have a bonfire, and I also have a projector. So I want to do like a bring your own air mattress situation where we'll have like a movie night outside with the fire and stuff and just like lounge and
Everyone could bring their tents. You could drink and not
yeah.
drive.
And the dogs can come because it's fenced in. It would be fun.
Oh, hell yeah. What would you call this party if you had to come up with a party?
BYOM.
Bring your own mattress?
Yeah. People might mistake it for an orgy, but that's a risk I'm willing to take.
Lexie's backyard mattress bash. Fun.
Yep.
Well, my favorite fall activity is I love football season, and it's not like necessarily about football. It's more about like the experience, tailgating and eating snacks. I love buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah.
Like enough that like, yeah, I never make it here. So it's like, it has to be for a party. And then like tailgating, having that, and then some daytime Sauvignon Blanc, like it's the perfect fall day.
You're the only person I know that would drink wine during tailgating, and I absolutely love it.
Oh, well, I'll have to introduce you to some people because
you keep talking about we have this ongoing thing where Maddie has made her own friends in Des Moines, and just every time I'm there, they weirdly can't hang out. They're all busy. And so I always joke that these people don't actually exist.
So back me up, team. Yeah. And like, it's very, yeah. Yep. It just keeps going. Besides dips, what else?
Hiking. I love hiking in the fall, like in the crunchy leaves and this, just like the smell of the wilderness in general. Hiking becomes, extra enticing to me in the fall.
Yeah, as the kids say, it hits different.
It's different. Such a vibe.
I also just love wearing sweaters. I love fall fashion. I've been really
I wrote that down too, Maddie.
It's so much better. It's so good.
Yeah. I said fall fashion, and then I put fall nails as well, which I officially kicked that off with my espresso martini nails.
Oh my gosh. Yes. We haven't even been able to talk about those yet because we've been on a couple week break.
Yeah.
And our friend Maggie got engaged. And right before that, we went on a weekend trip to Chicago with her. And she had this photo holding an espresso martini. And we called them espresso martini nails. And they are beautiful.
And the following weekend, she got engaged. And we're like, ooh, thank God you still had those espresso martini nails for all the photos.
Yes.
So congratulations, Maggie and Ted, again.
Congrats. A couple people, just to mention some people's favorite fall activities. Gabrielle said drinking pumpkin cream cold brews from Starbucks.
That's my favorite fall drink at Starbucks.
I've never had that.
It's like just the cold brew, but then pumpkin foam on top, so it's not too sweet.
Oh, perfect.
Like it cuts, because some of the pumpkin drinks are just too sweet for me. That's the only one that hits right.
Huh. Julia said being outside with crunchy leaves. Juice said camping bonfires. Miss Trisha Ambush said going to Phantom Fall Fest at Adventureland. So you are going, when you go to Atlanta, to a
Fright night at Six Flags, and I'm so excited. I've never been to one, but I wanted to. I heard it's actually really scary.
Is it? Like,
yeah, they say like after 7 p.m., like they don't hold back. So they're basically like, get your kids out by 7 p.m. because they won't get taken easy on.
Huh. I don't know.
Apparently you like walk to your rides and people are just like jumping out at you at all times. Like you're never safe. And then in addition to that, they have like haunted houses set up that you can go in that aren't normally there. So it is a little pricier of a ticket, but I'm very excited. I will report. I'll take some videos. I'll report back.
Okay. When is that? A couple weeks from now?
Yep. So I'm going to that on October 6th. October 6th, I'll be at Six Flags.
We'll have to do like a Halloween episode and follow up with that.
Yes.
Anything else that you can think of that you want to mention?
You hit the dressing for fall. I love boots.
Yeah, they just like, okay, so I've been thrifting a lot lately, and I've been buying like men's sweaters, and
Yeah.
I found some cool boots. Um, and then what else am I looking for? I'm looking for a vest, like a quilted vest, but I don't want it to be like a
Yeah.
brand new one that everyone has. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
find like a different one, you know?
Yeah. And you can get out your oversized leather jacket.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
got
That would be
I got
so
like
cute with some
5 leather
shirts and
jackets,
stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
and the red one's my favorite. So I'm
Yeah.
excited.
I forgot about the red one.
Very exciting. Like all my favorite things are happening again.
Mhm. So I have another reason why I'm mad though.
Why?
I
You good?
one of my favorite things.
Wait, you good?
No, I'm not good, bro. One of my favorite things that I look forward to every fall is canceled. Do you know what it is?
I do.
Say it.
The Dubuque Chili Cook-Off, an
Yeah.
event that has gone on for decades and brings the Dubuque people together with the smell of paprika and beans in the air.
It has been tradition for so long. It used to be Maddie and like our tradition because Maddie lived above one of the buildings or one of the shops
Mhm.
that was right next to it because it was by the 4th Street elevator, which is a huge wonder of Dubuque.
People literally joke that it's, and I think people think it's serious that it was a contender for one of the 7 wonders of the world.
I always say it because I heard it, but you're right. I think it's not real.
So everyone, I haven't even fact checked this. I'm just gonna actually make a public service announcement. It is not and has never been considered for a wonder of the world. I think there are just many other
I think
things
that
that
would
would override that.
be very, very sad if it were true. Actually,
The world would be a very sad place
there's
if
just
that was
not
one
much
of the
wonder. There's not much wonder to it at all. So, but Maddie lived right next to it for a very long time.
things. Yeah,
And
very
the
cool.
chili cook-off has historically always been right there. And so Maddie and I would meet each other at her place, pregame a little bit, and then walk down to it. And it was always such a good time. You pay for your spoon, walk around and taste all the chilies, vote
Like
for your
five
favorite one.
dollars. $5, I think it
Yeah,
was.
that's it. And it was Hills and Dales. Everything was donated to Hills and Dales, right? But it was like a donation based event.
Do you
So,
remember the year that I was in it?
yeah, I do. Because you took the recipe from the really nice restaurant you worked at the time, right?
Okay, so the night before the chili cook-off, you were supposed to be at the chili cook-off to set up your stuff by like 8 a.m. And the night before, we had closed down the restaurant and we were drinking at the bar. And it was like 1:30 a.m. And we're like, me, Corey, I think Kelly Williams and Ryan, all were like, why don't we do the chili cook-off? And the owner, Matt Kleesner, was like, sure, here's the recipe. And here's the recipe for like the white bean chicken chili.
So it was
So we
different
went,
and it stuck out.
yes, and Corey's dad brought like this big tailgate corn cooker kind of thing, and it had a microphone. And Corey dressed up as a pirate. We got this all together within like 5 hours, I swear to you. And we won best showmanship because of like the microphone talking and Corey dressing up as a pirate. And we called it One-Eyed Willie's Chicken Chili.
That just shows what some creative minds can fart out last minute. Like,
yes, we had so much fun. So
yeah.
that was a really good memory.
So upset. There was like beer tents and live music, everything. So yeah, that is canceled this year. But chili has to be one of my top favorite fall foods.
A lot of people said that. Like, I'm literally going to say Christina, Adam Sandler, some sort of pen name, Adam Klein, Julia, and a couple other anonymous people. Rodrigo Blankenship, another pen name.
Can we just pretend that the Adam Sandler one is real? Because low key, that's my dream man. So
that's true. I think he actually listened.
Who knew that and said that name for that reason? Who was messing with me?
Someone told me that he listens.
Adam, is it you? I respect your marriage, but also,
yeah, like we can just be friends.
It's fine, friends.
I respect your craft.
Really attracted to each other.
Like you're actually genuinely attracted to Adam Sandler?
So like my dream guy would be him during like Billy Madison, like
Hey,
not
hey,
that
hey.
not the character of Billy Madison, which you wouldn't even know because you haven't seen it. But also like, yeah, if I had to go for an older guy, it would still be him or Mark Wahlberg.
What? I didn't know these things about you, dude.
Who's your older guy?
My older guy is Anthony Bourdain, but he's gone, so no
So
longer.
I was the new Beetlejuice recently came out, and I watched the OG one right before I went to the new one. You want to know how I know I'm getting old? Because this is the first year, and I watch it every year, but this is the first year when watching the OG Beetlejuice that I thought that the guy ghost was hot.
I don't know who that is. The
It
guy.
was Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin, but like the age he was at was like a super, it was like a dad age. And now this is the first year that I watched it. And I'm like, oh my God, do I find him attractive? And I've
Hot.
never thought that in my life before. So that's how I know I'm at that age now.
Wow. Okay, I'll have to look because I've never thought of Alec Baldwin as an attractive person, but at some point he had to have been, right?
Because they dressed so much older back then. So I don't know if he was supposed to be in his late 30s, early 40s. Either way, like,
I bet he was like 30. I bet he was
yeah,
younger than you.
yeah. Anyways, but back to food. What other favorite fall foods or recipes?
Well, this weekend I made some soup already, which is exciting. Turned out great. One of my favorites is a smoky lentil potato soup. Anything
Ooh.
like hearty.
Yeah.
And I will share this recipe if anyone's interested. It's vegetarian, so it's inexpensive and it stays good like all week. So I hate when you make like a soup with chicken or beef in it and it's in your fridge for like 4 days and you're too grossed out to eat it after a certain amount of time because of the meat.
Yeah.
So I try to make like meatless soups. Anyways.
That's nice. I have soups down as well. I recently went to Panera and kicked off soup season by eating their baked potato soup they have there. It was actually really good. Usually go broccoli, cheddar, and I went for the baked potato and I was pleasantly surprised. But
I'll buy the pre-made ones from the grocery store sometimes. The Panera soups, like they're good.
No, they are good. It's just I take the summer off. When I get my U-Pick too, I'll usually get like a salad instead of soup in the summer, and it's officially fall, so I went for it. But at some point, I will be making soup of Toscana soup at home. That's probably one of my favorite soups.
You would like the one I made this weekend. It's sausage potato, so it's not similar vibe.
Toscana. Basically.
And pea soup. Okay, don't think I'm weird, but like I'm obsessed with pea soup. We grew up eating it all the time. I get cured ham hocks from the co-op, the food co-op in this area, and then I just keep them in the freezer at all times, and it makes the best soup in the world.
I believe you. I'm not, you know me, I will actually eat anything. But the other day, I went to the store and I had to pick up cream of mushroom soup. And I had a flashback to when I was a kid. I would eat that soup by itself all the time. I feel like for the most part, you just cook with it. But I would like beg for it. And my mom would like have to cut me off because she's like, this is the fattiest, most disgusting canned soup you could ever eat on its own. And I could not get enough of it.
Okay. Weird? Question, poll. Does anybody eat cream of mushroom soup? I bet
by itself. As a standalone with saltine crackers, the most sodium in the world.
Well, people eat like cream of celery. Like if you go to an old diner, there's like cream of celery, cream of mushroom. I don't know.
Another one was salmon soup that we would make with like canned salmon. My dad always made that up. And I asked him to make it last week for me. And he said, okay, I'll make it soon.
That sounds
like you can wait till it gets cold out, but it's officially cold out, Dad. So where's my salmon stew?
I love salmon, but that sounds awful.
I'll have him make you some.
You said that about egg salad, and here I am with my hands out waiting for months.
Okay, we're going to have... Do you remember, speaking of egg salad, I was thinking about how sad I was about the chili cook-off being canceled. So I texted Maddie randomly saying, let's have an egg salad boil-off where we all bring different versions of egg salad and vote for which ones we like best, because I feel like there's so many variations of it. Like, I did make 3 different variations of it. No, you ignored it. You did not.
I was going to say, did I even text you back? Because I was like, no.
You're like, what are you on right now? What if you found one you really, really liked?
Okay, you organize and I'll show up, but I'm not participating.
It's our season 1 wrap-up party. It's an egg salad boil off, guys.
It's a potluck with only egg salad. Who wants to come?
I mean, Bloody Marys will be served with hard-boiled eggs.
Oh my god. Very appealing.
Yeah.
So it's a brunch party.
Yes, exactly. Also, last week I made my first batch of apple crisp.
Okay, this is something I can get on. That sounds great.
It was really good. I found this new recipe that has like the most crumble you could ever want. You actually take the crumble, press it into the pan first for a crust, then pour the apple mixture in, and then like top it with like 1.5 inches of more crumble.
Okay,
and it was amazing. It was amazing.
Like, I don't love pies, but I don't mind the flavor profile of it. I just don't like all that filling in the middle. So like crumble is great, and like the way that you're describing it sounds great.
Maybe we should make a fall cookbook. Everyone submit your favorite fall recipes to our email address and I'll put together a cookbook.
I will send it to our publisher.
Yeah.
Who will compile the best recipes.
And also, let's just come out and say that fall is crockpot season in general.
I literally have that exact note. And sourdough and rolls with your crockpot meals.
I have not. I've been seeing everyone making sourdough, and I love sourdough, but I haven't made it myself yet.
I haven't either. And you know what? I'm going to leave that one to the professionals. I feel like I don't have the time to perfect it. And I really like a nice, funky sourdough. And every time I feel like people try to make it, they have to play around with it to get it perfect. So.
The more sour, the better.
Funky.
I want it to taste like pungent.
Yes, exactly.
And that sounds disgusting, but it's so good.
Yeah, it's honestly my favorite food. It's like a piece of sourdough with butter on it. Like nothing can compare.
I have a really good crock pot mac and cheese recipe. I actually got it from my high school boyfriend.
Is this Deltis?
It's this Deltis. And every time I bring it somewhere, I get asked for the recipe. So I have spread it by word everywhere. Everyone knows about it now, but it is a legit staple in our family.
I love it.
What about you? What's your favorite crock pot recipe?
Soup.
But do you have an Instapot or like a pressure cooker?
This is a great fucking question, Lexie, because yesterday is the first time I ever tried to use one. I was making homemade dog food for my dog. And I thought, well, if I'm going to F something up, it might as well be while I'm making his food. So I put some rice and water in it, hit the rice button. I don't know. I didn't even look up directions. This is all on me. I'm not a direction person. And the rice was so overcooked. It was like the worst mush in the world. So I've attempted, but I do have some research to do before I make another attempt.
Just on Friday, I looked up a shredded chicken crock pot recipe, but I was like, I'm not letting this cook for 4 hours. It's already 6 p.m. So I just Googled like how long to cook chicken in an Instapot and adjusted the recipe. And it was only 10 minutes of cooking, a natural release of 10 minutes. So within 20 minutes, I had this shredded chicken versus 4 hours. And it was perfectly cooked. But yeah, you got to Google it. Just Google it.
I just heard the word natural release yesterday for the first time. And now it's like,
it's so funny because you are so much better in the kitchen when it comes to like cooking. I feel like I'm a baker, but not a cooker. I'm impressed with myself. I'm proud of myself right now because I respect you so much in the kitchen.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even try to figure it out. So yeah, I'm going to look it up because I feel like there are uses for it, like such as that where, you know, you're in a quick pinch and you need something.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, tomorrow I'm making, Kurt has wanted goulash for a while and I've said no for about 10 years.
As
and so I'm going to make it tomorrow.
God, people either love or hate goulash. I mean, like I would never be like, oh, you know what? I could really go for some motherfucking goulash.
Exactly. Like there's just so many other things. Like, and the word itself, honestly, If they got a rebrand, I feel like it could do really well.
Yeah, goulash is not a good name.
Yeah, maybe we need to rebrand it.
I think so. I think so.
I want to read off some things that people wrote in. We had like the most insane response on our survey
I would
last
say like
weekend.
not even like just insane overall, but we posted it and within an hour we had like 12 responses.
Yes, so they
This
just
is a
kept
lot for
coming.
us.
So I do want to encourage this going forward. So I do
Yeah,
want to
thank
like
you
talk, and
so
I have
much.
this wonderful printed version of things. So
Yeah. Thank you so much,
um,
guys. We love it.
Gabrielle said her favorite fall recipe is her mom's apple pie for Thanksgiving. Polito said it's hella basic, but I make some fire warm apple cider shots. I don't think that's basic. Sounds great.
So he's my neighbor and he'll be invited to the bring your own mattress party. So I'm demanding you bring that Polito and your
Heck yeah.
dog.
Someone, I don't know if she wants me to say who it is, so I'm just going to err on the caution if not. I don't cook or bake, just get baked. And what else? Someone wrote, an anonymous wrote, homemade applesauce. Shannon said hot toddy. Maggie also said hot apple cider and caramel whiskey cocktails.
I love hot toddies.
And Ash said apple crumble, which was fitting because you just made that.
That's my girl. That's my wifey.
And then Anonymous also said Thanksgiving stuffing.
Yeah.
But that's a little ahead of early fall. So
Yeah. We'll have
yeah,
our own Thanksgiving episode. So can you guys relax?
chill, man. Like that does scream
Wow.
fall, like
Way
to the
to,
fullest
I
extent.
know.
Like
But
agey.
like, way to steal our thunder. We only have so many things we can talk about. We're stretching this. We'll have fall, Halloween, and Thanksgiving, okay?
Yeah. So as far as like fall drinks, what do you look forward to, or what are you like bringing out that's different than the rest of the year?
So of course, my head went straight to alcohol again. I'm sure you put down like a few non-alcohol drinks,
Just
but
like one.
I will say that fall is the time that I start like craving tea a little bit more. I'm usually a coffee girl and I'll switch to like warm coffee versus the iced coffee for the summer, but tea becomes more prominent. And I specifically, which I might have picked up from you, love my sleepy time tea before bed.
I'm in every night I go to bed and have a hot cup of tea, and it's usually like a sleepy time, or there's this, gosh, I don't remember what brand it is. It's one of like the main two, Yogi and whatever,
Mhm.
stress relief, and it has like kava in it with a K.
Mhm. Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it's so good. I am obsessed with it.
Yeah. It's tea
So good.
time. Fall and
But I
time.
agree. I had hot coffee. I do not drink hot coffee in the summer. But now
Mhm.
I'm so excited. I just got some creamer. I'm ready to rock.
Yeah. I got some pumpkin creamer that foams really easily. So I've been just making, I usually just drink black coffee at home, but I've been foaming that and putting it on top. And it's just a nice little touch.
And don't forget about chai tea.
And
In the fall.
that leads me to I recently saw a chai martini that looks fire. So I'm going to make that and let you know how it is. And I might even add a little espresso to it to make it a dirty chai martini. I'm really excited about it.
Oh, I want that now. I remember
I
when my
know.
family, we went to Dubuque for Christmas, and y'all were at the bar at Monk's drinking some sort of like spiked chai tea, right?
Yep, he put vanilla vodka in it.
Yeah, that
It
would
was
be.
so good. So it was like a vanilla chai latte, but we were drinking them at like 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Thank God chai doesn't have like a ton of caffeine in it, but
Okay, it's also like time for deep red wines to be tasting delicious, like Malbecs, Cabs, Merlots. And then obviously, you're an old fashioned gal. It's time for those warm drinks like bourbon.
although I've been drinking them all summer, but yes, I agree. I had one last night, an old fashioned last night, and just nothing hits like a bourbon old fashioned.
I agree. I'm a bourbon person. I was just going to ask, like, are you a brandy old fashioned person or like a whiskey? But you just answered
So
my
it's
question.
funny because, and Maddie knew her very well. fall also reminds me of my great auntie Lois. She passed away randomly, like I think it's been like 12 years, but it doesn't feel
No
like that.
way.
Isn't that crazy? So
Yeah.
my auntie Lois was like an idol. Her favorite drink was a Scotch old fashioned. So when we were younger, like freshly 21, maybe before that, on her death anniversary, we would go get we would go try to get Scotch old fashions. And I remember, Maddie, you and I went together to Lot One the first time to order them. We took one sip and like spit it out. We hated it.
Oh my gosh, Scotch, not my jam.
Well, also the old fashions, we had never had one. I remember we kept saying it tasted like potpourri. And now it's actually genuinely one of my favorite bevs.
Isn't that funny? I think it
Yeah.
took me getting old fashions from like a Wisconsin supper club
Yeah.
first that were sweet and made with brandy
Yeah.
to then kind of work my way down to.
Yeah. I think it's kind of like Bloody Marys, like where you don't just like, you're not born loving Bloody Marys. You have to
Drink
like,
red wine.
yeah. Yeah. True. Only the real addicts love them in the end.
Yeah, I mean, you have one night where like you enjoy them, and then you're like, ah, I get it.
Yeah.
It clicks.
Yeah.
You have a lot
Exactly.
of drinks like that, probably. I know you said your favorite fall scent was like the bonfire, crunchy leaves outside. Do you have any other favorite fall scents, like maybe more synthetic?
I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but I'm like a musk girl. So fall is actually my favorite time of year because it's more easily available to me because I feel like fall scents just have like a natural earthy musky smell to it. Specifically like the easiest scent to get my hands on is probably at Bath and Body Works. There's a leather and brandy candle that is so good.
Yeah, you do like those kind of like almost like masculine
Yeah,
tobacco kind of smells. Well, I went Bath and Body too because I just feel like the most people
can relate.
can get there or smell it and know what I'm talking about. There's a smell called sweater weather
Mm-hmm.
that I really like. When Brandy and Corey bought a house like in I don't know 2012 or something, they had this candle and it reminds me of that time. So it just brings me back to that every time.
It
Um,
smells like Hollister,
Kind of, yeah. It's
like the cologne from Hollister, because it is like a more cologne smell as
it's
well.
very
I
musky.
like it. I like it.
Huh. I like it.
Yeah.
And then leaves, I'm sure everybody knows what that smells like. That's classic
Mhm.
fall. Love it. And well, the other one I love is called Cozy Cashmere from
Yes.
Bath and Body, and it's
Yep.
just kind of like easy. And I love scents like that. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want it to smell a little bit nice, but not like too much, like in your face.
Yes. One thing, I don't mind it when I go to other people's houses, but personally, I cannot have my house smelling like a baked good. And I
Mm.
know like in the fall, a lot of people go to like pumpkin pie. When I walk into someone else's house, I'm like, this smells great. But anytime my house smells like that, I'm like, nah, this I can't live in this.
I agree. Have we talked about that before?
I don't know.
Kate, sorry, I didn't tell you this, but you gave me this candle when you came to my house a couple of weeks ago, and I went to light it, and it's like pecan waffles or something like
Yeah.
that, and it smells really good, but it has like this food undertone, like you can really smell like the wheat in the waffles. I swear to God, that sounds insane, but you can like, and I don't know. There's got to be a time for it that's perfect, and I'm gonna figure it out. But it
Yeah.
wasn't for the other night when we were having
Yeah.
drinks with Kurt's
Yeah.
friends at our house.
Again, I like the smells. It's just something about my house smelling like it that I can't do.
Yeah, or if there's like a syrupy smell, have you noticed that that scent will carry with you wherever you go throughout the evening?
Yeah,
Like,
maybe that's part of my issue is that my hair carries smells a lot. Like I walk into Subway and my hair will smell like Subway for the rest of the day. And I think I personally also don't want to smell like food.
your hair is just a porous.
It is. What songs or albums scream fall to you, Maddie?
Do you like the scream?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking like cottagecore vibes. Do you know what cottagecore is?
No.
It's like an aesthetic which I hate that word. It's so embarrassing to say, but whatever. Okay, so it's like an aesthetic that is like you're living simply, like almost like pioneer or like in the countryside, baking bread. So I think of, okay, I'm going to state the obvious here. I know all you Swifties are out here thinking this. Taylor Swift, Red
Yeah.
album with
Yep.
the All Too Well,
Mm-hmm.
and Folklore, I think are fall vibes. And a lot of people will say Evermore, but I think it's a winter album. So don't come at me, or do.
I have nothing to contribute because I don't know what songs are on what albums, but I did write, just knowing that you would be able to touch more on it. I wrote Taylor Swift has some songs, dot, 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 All Too Well, in Cardigan, etc.
Dude, you nailed it because you wrote Red and Folklore, and those are the two
Okay,
albums.
cool.
So
So I did
nicely done,
well.
dude.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you. I like think of the song called Sweater Weather.
Oh,
You know what I'm
classic.
talking about by Neighborhood?
Yes, it's
Is
too
it too
cold.
cold for you here?
That is a good song. I liked that one when it was out.
Yeah, that song's a good fall song.
Mhm.
And I saw Christina wrote, Wake me up when September ends.
How can you not mention it?
Yeah.
How can you not? We had a lot of people say AFI.
Yeah.
Juice said AFI Fall Children, and Adam Klein, our guest from the Emo Edition episode, said AFI All Hollows EP and Art of Drowning and Misfits album. Of course, that's super like Halloween time. My husband would agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think a couple other bands, Khalid, American Teen album. Have you ever listened to that? Like
No.
Young, Dumb and Broke, Location. That's the album I think of.
Okay.
But the song American Teen, it's just kind of like collegey. And then Vampire Weekend gives me like collegiate East Coast vibes, like starting college, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. My taste in like movies and TV shows shift as soon as September hits as well.
What are your favorite? Should we do movies? Movies first?
Yeah, movies. I mean, we already mentioned Beetlejuice. Let's just bring it up. I know it's like kind of Halloween, but it just released, so it's so relevant. And
For
I
sure.
was
And they sponsored this episode, so it's really important that we say that.
big Tim Burton girl overall. I think we talked about that. Oh, wait, that was the unreleased episode.
Maybe
We're
one
like
day.
Taylor Swift. It's in the vault. Maybe someday we'll release it. It just wasn't good, guys.
I can't believe you know the vault shit from
Yeah. Yeah. Are you impressed by me?
Totally.
It's literally honor songs like written in the title, so I couldn't help but notice. But I'm a big Tim Burton girl. Grew up loving all Tim Burton movies. So those are a staple every fall as well. Besides Beetlejuice, we talked about it a little bit. We liked Maddie and I used to watch Corpse Bride back in the day. And one time we found on the DVD there's this like edition where it was like an instrumental version of the movie where it was just the background noises and the music, and we actually watched the whole movie while improvising their voices, and we made up a whole nother storyline and sang every song.
You
Maddie,
know what?
tell them what it was about. Tell them the plot.
Again, my memory's terrible, but I think it was about where two people set up to get married by their parents.
Yeah.
And then they gave them this tool.
They were afraid to like
consummate.
Thank you. But after the wedding. So we made up this sex tool.
They gave it to me while we were sexing.
Anyways, you guys don't think this is funny. I already know, but it's hilarious to us because the way we did such a good job.
Oh my gosh, I know. We had accents for each person. It was fantastic.
Give it to you while you were sexing. But okay, back to Beetlejuice. Did you end up seeing it yet?
No.
Okay. So I won't go into depth, but like if you're going to see it, I recommend you watch the first one first because there's some tiny throwbacks they throw in there that I wouldn't have caught if I wouldn't have like refreshed. but I thought the storyline was kind of random, but I love all the actors in it. I love how they made the stepmom's character more likable in this one.
Oh, good. Because she's cool.
I love her. It was giving very Moira vibes, actually, which I loved because I love Schitt's Creek. But it was good. It was good. I don't think you can ever live up to the original in this case. So, and it's fine. It's better than nothing.
People on Facebook, Kurt was talking about some people he knew on Facebook were like just ripping it apart and basically like, that movie sucked. And it's like, what do you expect? It's kind of supposed to be a little like satirical and like,
yeah,
like it's not a Oscar film. Like they know it's not going to be up for
you
an
can't
Oscar.
compete with something so epic, like
and accidentally classic. I feel like
yeah,
it's like an accidental classic.
Yeah, it's so good. I don't know. But anyways, I don't want to give any spoilers because it is kind of fresh, but overall I was pleased. Jenna Ortega always does a good job. So she was a great addition to the cast, and I'll leave it at that.
As well as the Sabrina Carpenter music video.
Yes, that was great. It's so true.
My movies are more like rom-com-y. I feel like maybe. The one I instantly think of is You've Got Mail with Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks. Classic fall in New York. Anything fall in New York is like an instant fall vibe for me. Remember the Titans gives like high school football vibes, which is fall like. Father of the Bride for some reason. Mean Girls because it's kind of like the beginning of school.
Yeah.
Twilight.
Yeah, I agree with Twilight.
And Cinderella, the version with Brandy and like Whitney Houston. That's like a very
fall vibes. I love it, but why is that fall vibes?
Maybe it's the pumpkins that become her carriage, and so we know it takes place in the fall.
Yeah. Impossible. Things are happening
every day.
Impossible.
You were in that play, weren't you?
Impossible. Yeah.
Impossible. Me too.
Impossible.
But the world is full of zanies and fools.
Woo. Okay, so yeah, those are all great. I was just gonna touch on because in our last report, I was talking about Tell Me Lies and how the new season came out earlier this month. So like since it released in September last time, it gives me fall vibes just for that reason. And it always is like them coming back to college. It starts with them coming to college and kicking it off. But season 2 is starting with a bang, already sucked in. So if you haven't started Tell Me Lies, binge watch the first one and start watching the second season. But so far, it's so good.
Good. I'll have to watch it. I always usually wait till it all comes out, and then I don't have that.
Yeah, this is one that I just like can't wait. I agree. I'm usually the same way because I like to just fully indulge, but just can't.
Yeah, that does. American Horror Story.
I had that written down as well. I can't even count how many times I've watched season 1 every fall, basically.
Oh, I love
Murder House.
I've seen all of them.
Yeah, but I rewatched Murder House over and over again. I don't really rewatch the other seasons.
That one's like honestly probably the low-key scariest.
It is, and it's just I don't know. I loved all the actors in the original one, and I always revert back to it.
And Gabrielle, her and her mom Kathy love to watch Gilmore Girls, which is the ultimate fall show, I think.
So I've never seen Gilmore Girls all the way through, like in the right order.
No, it was just on television when I was in high school. Yeah. So like I would see that.
Like I'd tune in randomly. It just annoyed me how fast they talk and like
the witty banter. That's like a little too much.
Is it witty? I don't know.
I mean, I would describe it as so.
It was supposed to be, definitely.
Yes.
To me,
but like nobody talks back and forth that quickly. It's really strange.
Yeah.
But it's cute. It's great. The only thing I think I'm missing from other people is Anonymous, who I know who this is, wrote When Harry Met Sally, the infamous orgasm scene in Cat's Deli. So that's another like fall in New York movie. Trisha said Tell Me Lies too.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. Christina said Vampire Diaries. We got a couple Disney movie the Under Wraps,
Mm-hmm.
Hocus Pocus, Beetlejuice, One Tree Hill. Nikki said.
Yep.
They
I just asked you if you've seen it because you don't seem like a One Tree Hill girl.
No, I haven't.
It's good. But I mean, it's good until the last like 2 seasons. You can just like skip that. But they just announced they're doing a sequel.
Oh,
A
really? I've
spin-off.
tried to
A
watch it.
spin-off, if you will.
I've tried to watch it probably like twice, and I can tell you the first episode starts with like a basketball game because I've tried to watch it so many times that I remember the beginning of it, but that is all
Yeah, they really started off being revolved around basketball, but it really evolves from that. It's like really corny because it's CW, but we love all our CW shows. So
yeah, I agree. The only thing I have left to talk about is like fall primetime television that comes back. Like Saturday Night Live comes back, which I'm so excited about.
yeah,
Dateline in 2020 starts up again with new episodes, and Jeopardy's back too.
love it. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. But I know you mentioned a few places you're going to go yet this fall. So you're hitting a football game, you're hitting a concert. You got anything else that you like? Either somewhere you're going this fall or somewhere that like you love traveling to in the fall that you've been in the past?
Okay. So one of my best friends, Sarah, just told me that the date of her wedding is next October. And they're getting married in around Breckenridge, Colorado, which I have been out there in October to visit her there before. And it is like a movie. It's like the trees are on fire. It's beautiful. So I'm really looking forward to that.
And I know Polito mentioned Colorado being like one of the prettiest places in the fall. And yeah, I agree. That has to be, I need to go.
What about like Wisconsin? Have you been up to like the apple festivals and things like that up there in the fall?
Yeah, Wisconsin's really pretty in the fall. I have to say though, I don't take a ton of trips in the fall. I feel like I take one in the winter and one in the summer. Usually in the fall is like where I kind of lay back because Dubuque is just very beautiful in the fall as well with the bluffs and the changing leaves and the river. Like Dubuque is a place to visit if you're not from here and you just want a short getaway. I don't know.
Especially
Maybe
in
I'm
the fall.
biased. Yeah,
It
in
is.
fall.
You're right.
Yeah. I was wanting you to give me some sort of head nod or something. I was like, do you not agree? I think
No, I
Dubuque is
do
so
wholeheartedly.
beautiful in the fall. Okay,
Like
good.
I'll say like Wisconsin because honestly, it's just like Dubuque.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, Iowa and Wisconsin are pretty much the same until you get like really up north.
Okay, so
Do you want to play a game?
we're gonna play a quick game of underrated or overrated. Okay, so we're gonna go back and forth, and we are both going to answer, but we're gonna ask about a fall item, and the other person has to then say whether it's underrated or overrated and why. So I'm going to start off and I'm going to ask you underrated or overrated pumpkin spice latte or pumpkin spice flavored items.
I'm so sorry. Overrated. Only because it's exciting for like the first week and then I just get sick of the pumpkin flavor. It's just a little too much for me. As I mentioned, there's like one thing on the Starbucks menu that I will get and it's September 23rd and I'm already done. I'm just like over it now.
I agree. I'm like slightly torn, but I mean, I would definitely, if I had to pick one or the other, definitely overrated.
Yeah.
Pumpkin coffee and bread is like okay. And again, I'll have it like once a season, but anything super manufactured, like they have pumpkin spice Oreos, marshmallows, like all that gross shit. Yeah. I'm out. Overrated.
Yeah. Can we ever have a season where everything's just banana flavored? Because I like banana bread better and like banana flavored things better. I just made bro a banana peanut butter birthday cake for his birthday last week, actually.
Oh, yeah. I texted you to tell him happy birthday. Did you do that? Okay, cool.
He cares. He said thank you.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
I was worried about that.
I was very worried.
Butternut squash, underrated or overrated?
Okay. I don't know. I can't really say underrated or overrated because I just don't like it. I can have it in like a small bit, but I won't order it. I prefer like sweet potatoes or spaghetti squash. Yeah. And I don't like that. What about you?
I agree. I think it's all about how it's cooked, but I have yet to find a recipe that I'm like, yeah, I want this again. You know what I mean?
I do because like Trader Joe's has like butternut squash ravioli and these great flavored things. I'll take a small bite of it, but I won't eat it as a meal. Like you won't catch
Yeah.
me ordering it as like the main component.
Yeah.
Same. What about Ugg boots?
Am I a hater? Because I'm going overrated again.
I am too. I am not a fan. Never owned a pair, never will.
Yeah.
If you
I
wear
know
them
they're like super
outside,
warm. I know they're super warm, but I just like it doesn't go with my style. I cannot find a use for them.
I also don't like how if you wear them outside, they like cause like the suede or the fabric to look wet forever. Like they're not functional whatsoever, in my opinion. And I agree, they just don't fit with my style. But
Yeah.
I bet they're awesome, and I bet they're cozy, and
I
it'd
bet
be
they're
cool.
cozy and warm, especially in the winter. But yeah, they get wet and I don't know. Agree.
I'm with you. I sorry, Ugg lovers. I don't like them.
Okay. Pumpkin patch.
As an adult, overrated. I think people like to go and like take photos and stuff. I'm not into that. I just don't know what to do when I'm there. I don't like need an abundance of pumpkins to purchase. So I really show up and I'm like, all right, now what? I'm like in the wrong place. These people have kids. So I stand around like a dork. What about you?
So my opinion's a little different. I'm going underrated only because now that I have a niece to take to the pumpkin patch, it's like giving it a rebirth for me and it's extra nostalgic for me because I'm like, oh my God, when I was her age, I loved this and it's so fun to see her do it. But I would have been on the same page as you if it weren't for JC. But now it's like great fall memories that I look forward to every fall is taking her to a new pumpkin patch.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah. And I'm sure people with kids, like, that's probably the route they would take.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
What about flannels?
I'm going overrated only because so I love a good like fleece like or like button down type situation. I love wearing layers, but it's the actual pattern of flannels that I just don't love for me.
You're getting at exactly what I'm saying.
Is that where you were smiling and I thought you were going to disagree?
No, I think that they're overrated. I think they're kind of rated correctly. It depends on who you are. I think they're fine when people don't wear them in like a campy or like a costumey looking way,
Yeah.
like kind of the Western vibe. But they look great on some people. But I agree, it can look cheesy
Yeah.
because of what the Western community has done. I guess like what the basic bitches of the world going to country concerts have done for
Yeah.
them. They kind of fucked it up, and I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
It's just like I don't feel like myself in them. That's it.
Daylight savings time, overrated or underrated?
I wrote down, let's stop that.
I wrote down underrated. I love it. I wish it would get dark at like 6 and not go to like the 4 o'clock thing, but
Yeah. It gets
there's something
depressing.
yeah, there's something so cozy about it. And I struggle being like content just chilling and like getting ready for bed if it's like somewhat sunny out. And so it helps me with like my cozy contentment level at home.
See, I like it right now. Like I wish we weren't switching back. And like right now, it's starting to get dark a lot earlier than it did this summer. So if we just kept this like this all year round, we would still have an earlier night, but then in the summer, just have more playtime.
Okay.
And so I wish we could keep it like this. I don't want to keep it like the way it's actually supposed to be, which is what we're switching back to. You
That
know?
makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
I like your take on it because you're actually talking about daylight savings time where I'm just talking about it getting dark earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we stop it, let's leave it how it is right now.
Agree.
Yeah. What about Oktoberfest events?
This is a weird one. I don't really feel any type of way, but I'm going to say underrated because I feel like that part of fall should be celebrated more in the States than it is. And
Mhm.
every event that I've gone to like that has been really fun
Mhm.
and just brings the people together in the crisp weather.
Yeah.
Did you hear how I said crisp?
In the crisp
In
weather.
the crisp
This wine is really dehydrating us.
Uh,
But I agree. I just clicked my teeth against my glass. Oh,
We both like had one glass of wine throughout this whole thing, and we've been talking for an hour and a half. So
it's too much. I was gonna agree, like you gotta have some sort of celebration in fall, and Oktoberfest is it. And just a couple weekends ago, Maddie came back to town for Blocktoberfest.
oh,
And
so
it's probably
awesome.
my favorite event we do in Dubuque. So I had to say underrated for that reason.
Yeah, if you have the chance ever to check out Blocktoberfest in Dubuque,
It's
make
a good
sure you
time.
hit it up. It's amazing.
Yeah, they bring in a bunch of like ramps and stuff into our downtown like historical area in Dubuque, and they have like BMX, skateboarding, skating, like rollerblading, I guess. Even scooters, I think, were in the events. They have competitions for that. People come from all over. They have drink vendors, food vendors. They have events going on for the kids all day. Like it's an any age, family or single event. It's so much fun. They do such a good job and they put in a lot of work with it. So check it
Hmm.
out.
And it's all for charity too. So um, it's for a good cause.
And this time, one of the bars down there sold wine by the glass. So Maddie was especially happy.
Oh yes. Okay, check out what's it called, Lexie?
UJ's Wine Bar. It's inside of Wayfair Coffee. But they have a great wine selection, but also some really good craft cocktails. I had a mezcal drink. It was like a carrot juice margarita with a red wine float on top, and it is just your taste buds go through a journey while you're drinking that shit. It's so good.
Who made the drink was so cool and made an amazing drink. Let's wrap this up. We've been talking for quite a bit of time. And thanks again. Thanks again.
Wow, let's shut the fuck up because you guys are done with us by now.
Like, thank you again for filling out the survey for this episode. It was so fun to read. And again, we had so many people answer, and it was so cool. So thank you.
Yeah. And thank you for all the positive feedback. Sometimes we just wonder what the hell we're doing. And while we were taking our break, we just had a lot of people reach out and tell us that they enjoyed it and to keep going. And that's kind of what enticed us to keep going. And we just really appreciate you guys.
Yes, like the feedback was so nice. And again, thank you. It feels weird to say that. So
Yeah.
thanks.
It's so weird because honestly, we're like,
It's embarrassing still.
is anybody out there?
Yeah. Well, make sure you follow for new episodes every Wednesday
We're
on
switching up them
Spotify.
formerly Fridays, now Wednesdays.
Yes, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
Yeah. And with that, also please follow us on our socials. We're on Instagram and TikTok at Wait You're Mad.
Bye.
Bye.